Yeah.
Hello everyone. The video today is going to be about Saint Mary, and we're going to think about the person Mary was and the things that happened to her in the very beginning when we first hear about her. To look at Saint Mary, we're going to use the letters of her name. M, A, R, Y. So we're going to start with M. Now, when you think about St. Mary, what do you think M could stand for? Have a think, and it's particularly the first thing we hear about Mary in the Bible. And it's M is for mother. Now I expect you got that. So we're going to listen to the first time we hear about Mary in the Bible. We're going to watch a video.
In the town of Nazareth in Galilee, there lived a beautiful lady named Mary. She was a fine and noble lady who was also very pious. Mary was to soon get married to Joseph, who was from the family of David. One day, when Mary was deep in prayer, she heard a voice calling her name. When she opened her eyes, she saw a dazzling light.
Oh, what is happening? Who is it?
Fear not, sweet Mary. I am Gabriel. I have been sent by God to give you a message.
A message from God? For me?
Yes, Mary. You are God's chosen one. Soon you are going to have a baby who will be the Son of God.
But how can I have a baby? I am not even married as yet.
Mary, do you remember how people had said that your dear relative Elizabeth cannot have children as she is far too old? Well, she is going to have a baby soon, isn't it? If it is God's will, it will happen. So there is nothing for you to worry about. By the grace of God, a son will be born to you, and you shall name him Jesus.
If it is the will of God, what can I say? I bow my head to his will.
So I hope you enjoyed the video. The first time we hear about Mary is when she has a surprised visitor. So we've got M for mother. What do you think A is for? I'm sure you can guess this straight away, because A is for the visitor. A is for angel. The angel came to visit Mary to tell her she was going to be a mother. Now, I wondered if you'd like to make some angels. You can make them out of paper. You can use white paper or coloured paper or even wrapping paper. So let's see how we make those angels. We're going to start with a piece of white paper, and it's just the sort of paper that you use for printing from the internet. Now you'll notice that it's a rectangle shape, but we need a square to make our angel. So you have to do some measuring for this. So you need a ruler, and you need something to mark, and you need 21 centimetres. So I'm going to measure 21 centimetres one side, 21 centimetres the other side, and then join those two markers up, trying to keep it straight, and you've got a nice line to cut across. And then when you cut across this line, you will have a square. But don't get rid of this piece of paper because you'll need that as well. So when you have your square, you fold it over, get it as neatly as you can, push down where the fold is, and then open it out, and you're going to cut down that fold. So take your scissors again, and make sure your parents know you're using scissors and they let you use them. If not, I'm sure they'll easily help you with this. So you end up with two pieces the same size. Now this is the difficult bit, and I could show you on the white paper, but if I show you on a coloured piece of paper, you'll be able to see much better. But you do exactly the same with the white. You're going to start at the bottom, make sure you have it tall. Start at the bottom and you do a fold of about 1/2 inch. Turn the paper in, press it down. Then you're going to turn the paper over and you're going to turn another piece up. About the same, fold it down. Turn it over again. Fold it, and you're gathering lots of folds, you'll see. You just keep them together, turn it over, fold it again, turn it over, fold it again, turn it over, fold it again, turn it over, fold it again. You just keep on, turning and folding and keeping all the folds together tightly. Fold it again, turn it over and fold it again. And this is a very important part, so you need to concentrate, even though it takes a while. Keep folding and pushing it down so that it keeps nice and tight together. Fold it, we're nearly at the top. It looks as if this is going to be the last one. Fold it down. And then you should have something that's nice and tight like that, and you'll begin to see that you have lots of nice folds. Okay? Should look like that when you've finished. And I've done 2 in white before, so you do that one and that one. So you've got 2 that are all nice and folded up, ready to use. Now, keep those to one side, and you're going to use the other piece of paper that you had left over. And you cut a nice long piece from the long side, which makes the hanging for the angels. So just cut a nice long strip off that paper, and that's for your hanging. And then the last thing you need is 2 heads. So I use the Pritt glue lid to draw around, which is a nice head shape. And you need 2 of them. Draw around. And there you have your head shape, and you can cut it out. So what you need for your angel, let's go over it again. You need 2 of those that you've folded. 1, 2. You need a long piece for the hanging, and you need 2 round circles for the head. And that's all you need, and then some Pritt glue to glue it all together. So let's take the concertina, the piece that you folded up, and what you're going to do is you're going to bend that down so that it's about halfway down. Doesn't need to be exact, but about halfway down. Bend it down and make a strong fold. And when you've folded it, you're ready to stick it. You need to get the fold first so that it's nice and strongly folded. Put the glue where you've just folded and hold on to it tightly so it glues down. And then you do the same to the other side. And this time you can match it up so that it keeps the same length at the bottom, and you fold it over so that they're going to be the same, because you don't want the angel to have a short wing and a long wing, do you? You want it to be the same. So that's about right. So fold it down, and then the same as you did, put some glue on the fold part, stick it down, hold it tight because it's strong paper. So now we're starting to get our angel shape, aren't we? Now we need to remember to make sure we put the loop that holds it up on first before we stick it together. So take one side with the wing on the outside, and you've got this nice long piece in the middle. Put glue all the way down, and then put about halfway down, stick the loop on, and then stick that together. The side with the wing sticks out either side, and then you can stick that together, and again hold it tight. Paper sticks very well with this print, but you do need to hold it. And there they are together. And now the head. Glue one of the heads and stick it on to the loop. It goes onto the loop, and then take the other head, bring the loop down so that you've got a loop, and put it onto the head. Can you see what I'm doing? So you've got the head, you've got the loop, and the head, the other side, will just help to stick the loop even firmer on. And then you can start to undo your wings and your skirt, and see all the wings coming out, and make sure the head is really stuck on. And there we have our angel. So you can make lots of different ones, and if you've got Christmas paper nearer to Christmas, they would look really pretty on the Christmas tree, wouldn't they? So something to make from paper for our A for the angel. So we've remembered that Mary was the mother of Jesus, and A was for the angel coming to tell her the surprising news. And then we come to R. What do you think R stands for? Think about Mary, and many times in the Bible when something happened to her and to Jesus, she would remember those things. They said in the Bible she pondered on them, she thought about them, and she learned from them. And I think that's what we need to do when we read the Bible and when we learn some things about Jesus. We need to try and remember them and take them into our hearts and try and learn from them. So R is for remember. Now we need to try and help our memories to be good, don't we? If we're going to remember. And there is a game you can play. You may well have played this before. It's called the memory game. And what you do is you get a tray or something, a box, and you put some things on there. Now, when you choose the things, they can be anything you've got in the house, but you need to choose big things and little things because you want to try and help people to really think and remember. So you put the things on the tray and you get 2 people or 3 or just one other person to play the game with you. And you ask them to look at all these things and try and remember them. And then you give them 2 or 3 minutes, and then you say, I'm going to take the tray away and I'm going to remove one thing from the tray, and then when I bring it back, I want you to try and remember what is not there anymore. Okay, let's try it. Okay, now there's something missing from the tray. What do you think it is? Can you remember what it is? Think hard. Perhaps you're shouting it out already. It is the green elastic band. So well done if you managed to remember what was missing. Try that at home. It's quite good fun. So we only have one more letter left. We've done M for mother, A for angel, R for remember. What's the one thing, the very important thing that we can remember about Mary that begins with a Y? I wonder if you can think of it. It's a very small word, but such an important word. It's the word yes. Remember when the angel came and Mary was so surprised that she was going to have a baby, not just a baby, but the Son of God. And Mary said, yes, I will. If that's what God wants me to do, I will do it. So we're going to watch a story now which talks about someone else that said yes. So here is the story about someone else who said yes. It's called The Donkey's Tale by Margaret Gray. There once was a girl called Susan, and Susan was very sad. She was sad about herself. She felt she wasn't very good at anything. She wished she could be clever and confident and organised, but she didn't feel like that at all. Then one day, while she was sitting, still feeling sad, suddenly this donkey appeared. Susan was a bit frightened. She didn't know what to think. But the donkey looked friendly. The donkey came up to her and said, I saw you sitting there and I thought, I've felt like that sometimes, so I wanted to come and talk to you. In fact, sometimes I used to get very angry. I used to jump about and people were frightened to come to me because I was so noisy. The trouble was, I didn't want to be me. I wanted to be a fast racehorse that everybody watched and cheered. Or I wanted to be a beautiful dancing horse that everybody looked at. Or even better, I wanted to be a strong horse that everybody admired and wanted to have on their farm and help them. But I wasn't like any of these. And then, one day, there was a man, and he was looking at me. Then he called me to come. Me! I couldn't think what he wanted me for. What good was I? But he kept calling me, so I went. Then he sat on my back. Me, just an ordinary donkey. And we started to travel into the town. And all these people were shouting. There were crowds and crowds of people, and they'd come to see him. And I was the one that he was riding on. I felt so special. So you see, there's something that everybody can do. There's always something we can do. We remembered in our story that Mary said yes. So how do we feel? Do we feel useless, or do we know that there's something that each of us can do? And especially when Jesus calls us to do things, when he wants us to behave in a certain way, when we learn what he wants us to be, then we need to say our yeses too, like Mary, who was ready to be the mother of Jesus. So we give thanks for Mary. So we give thanks for Mary, that she was the mother of Jesus and cared for him, that although surprised by the angel, she listened and learnt and accepted what God was wanting her to do, that she remembered. Many times in the Bible it says how she thought about what was happening to Jesus and learnt from it. And she was very definitely saying yes. And there's many things we can say yes to as well, aren't there? Yes to learning about Jesus. Yes to living as he wants us to live. So we say thanks for Mary and for each other, for we've all got something we can do for God. Take care.